Hi Ellen Design fans, I'm here with Sup Daddy to teach you guys how to change out a mechanism on our large design clocks. Sup Daddy is one of our big guys here. We start by using our fingers to get underneath the second hand and pulling up. Let's set that aside. At this point on our large designs, we do have a small screw at the top. I am going to hold my minute hand while I'm going to the left, lefty-loosey, to take the screw off. As you can see, that's a very small screw. Let's go ahead and set that aside. And then we pull up on our minute hand and set that aside. And then using our fingers, we're going to pull up on our hour hand. All of those are set safely aside. At this point, we have a bolt on the front of our clock. Let's go ahead and use an 11mm wrench that will be able to fit perfectly over that bolt. If you don't have an 11mm wrench, you may use needle nose pliers. We just ask that you be mindful not to scratch the surface of your clock. For today's example, I'm going to go ahead and use the 11mm wrench. And again, lefty-loosey, get that guy turned to the left and get it loose. Once it's pretty loose, I can go ahead and use my fingers. I hold my mechanism on the back of the clock, using my fingers to turn the bolt to the left. As you can see, there we go, and it's coming right off. I'm going to set the bolt and the washer to the side. The mechanism at this point drops off out of the clock. Then we'll take our new mechanism and insert it into the back of our clock. And I'll go ahead and show the back. For our large design, we do have an insert that our mechanism sits securely in. I'm going to go ahead and hold that in place while I turn him back around, and we're going to reverse the process. Start with our washer and our bolt, and I use my fingers to start that process of turning to the right. You will need to hold your mechanism on the back of your clock, and let's go ahead and use our 11mm to make that mechanism nice and snug. We do not need to over tighten, as that could damage the mechanism, but it does need to be nice and snug. There it is. At this point, we're going to reverse the process with our hands. We're starting with the hour hand. The hour hand fits snugly down on the shaft. We push down using our thumbs. With our minute hand, there is a special square design here that fits on top of the metal. I will hold my minute hand in place while I'll get my small little screw that sits on top. And at this point, I'm just using my fingertips to screw that back onto the shaft of the clock, and I get that nice and secure. As you can see, my minute hand does not hang loose, so these hands are nice and snug. With our second hand, it just requires a simple little tap. I don't need to hammer and I don't need to push too hard.